Welcome back to Adobe Live, day two.
Day two.
Day two.
Let's do it.
I'm Ellie. I'm here with Bryan Aellen today. And yeah, we're excited. We're going to talk more career building. Bryan's going to work on editing a new photo. I think finishing up the very end of yesterday's photo as well. So we'll see the very end of that. So yeah, we're going to have fun. Let us know where you're watching from. Say hi. Let us know if you were on yesterday or if you're catching up today. Hi, Sarah. Hi, Jordan. It's always so cool to see where people are watching from and people from all over the world.
Yeah.
All at the same time tuning in. So cool. Thanks for joining us. We have a full day today. So earlier today was another daily creative challenge with Jesus. We'll review that in a little bit. Right now, we're live with Bryan until 11:30 when Howard will have the next XD Daily Creative Challenge. And then after that will be an XD stream with Keisha. And I think she's making some kind of app around food. Oh. I don't know if it's I think it has to do with recipes or meal planning, prepping, something like that. I only saw a little glimpse of it, but it looks really cool.
You can't go wrong with food.
You can't go wrong. You can't go wrong with food. So you guys should definitely stick around for that. We're also going to be giving away some stickers in about 30 minutes. You'll have a chance to win 100 free stickers from Sticker Mule. So make sure you stay active in the chat, and you'll have a chance to win those. Yeah, and then as we mentioned, we have a daily creative challenge today. The challenge for today is to adjust the color of an image using blending modes. So you can see right here, it outlines what the challenge is. You can submit right here, or right here in Discord, and you get to this tab just by clicking on this challenge button. You can get all the information there. If you missed the stream, you can watch the replay to see exactly how Jesus demoed this. And make sure you submit because we want to see what you guys make.
Yeah, I'm excited.
Yeah.
Again, yesterday was the transition, the panorama.
Yeah, it was really
which
cool.
Was really good. You guys did awesome stuff, so I'm excited to see what you guys come up with today.
Yes, and Bryan will be offering some feedback. So if you want to get some live feedback, make sure you submit. And yeah, try something new. Learn something new.
For sure.
Super useful tool. So cool. Well, hello. Hi, Kita.
Hey. All the peeps.
Yes, everybody. Hi, Lou. Cool. Thank you guys for joining us. Make sure you stick around because it's going to be a great day today. I'm going to go ahead and pull up your work again, just if you want to recap a little bit who you are, if anyone missed yesterday. And we'll have another chance to look at your awesome work as you share who you are.
Beautiful. Thank you.
Cool.
Thank you. Thank you again for having me. Always super honored to be here. And yeah, I guess a little bit about myself. My name is Bryan Aellen. As you can see, I'm into photography, and I do a lot of cityscapes and nighttime photography. I just feel like, I don't know, cities in the day can be a little dull, but at night it just lights up and everything looks super gorgeous. Yeah. Before I used to be into graphic design. I didn't think I'd be into photography. There was a lot of other things that were on my mind. But after high school, I picked up my first DSLR. I was looking for higher quality video. Funny enough, I was looking to get, because I had a YouTube channel at the time, and yeah, I just wanted higher quality video. And I was like, my friend was like, "Oh, you should do photography," and I'm like, "Photography?" I'm like, I'm all about the video, right?
Yeah.
But I don't know. As soon as I got downtown and started taking pictures, I just never stopped after high school.
Cool.
So, took over my life.
Yeah, and now you're here.
Yeah, and now we're here.
You're here all the way from Canada.
Yeah. San Francisco is really cool. There's so much color. I feel like just the atmosphere and the buildings. There's so much color to see and so much character. Mm-hmm. There's so many funny things.
Yeah.
I'm walking around. Today I was walking around. There was these dudes who were playing rolling dice on the ground, and they were just all huddled and laughing and doing their thing, and I'm like, that's so cool.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a very unique city.
Yeah.
But really cool. I love the colors too. All those pastel houses and stuff are just, they're so beautiful. Well, we're glad you're here.
Thank you.
Thanks for coming all the way down here. Well, cool. Do you want to show us what you were working on yesterday? If you missed yesterday, you can watch the replay and see exactly how Bryan got to this point. But do you want to just kind of recap a little bit of what you were working on yesterday?
Sure, why not? Yeah, so looking here, I'm gonna just let's go backwards and see kind of where we came from. Oh, not that far back.
Back to the very beginning.
Cool. Yeah, so we kind of started off with an image like this, and the idea behind this is to make my friend float. So I had my subject, it was my friend Daniel. I had him jump a little bit off the ground, and with a high shutter speed on my camera, it just kind of froze that action, froze that motion, and then we masked him out, and then kind of moved him up a little more just to make it a little more dramatic, and then we started playing with lights. So I cut out a hole here, and just playing with frames and stuff. Again, just making things really dramatic. And yeah, we added some lighting on him just to make things make sense a little more. We darkened out this background. Yeah, and I think there's one, there we go. Yeah, so
Cool.
kind of how we got a little bit here. But yeah, I'm just going to wrap up this edit, and then I have a cool edit of San Francisco for you guys, a little bit of a taste of San Francisco, because I was
really
inspired.
Cool, guys. Yeah, you're gonna love it. Stick around, and yeah, if you want to see all these steps that Bryan went through, make sure you go watch yesterday.
Yeah.
Cool.
Sweet. All right, so let's get into this. I want to make this hallway look like it goes in like a much deeper, and I'm gonna use these lights that are already here and just kind of like duplicate them and make it look like it's almost like it continues, it goes on.
Cool.
Yeah.
Audie's asking, what brand of camera do you use?
So currently I'm shooting on a Sony a7 III. I was shooting on a Canon before, and it was pretty awesome. I loved it, but I also started getting into vlogging and started getting into a little bit more video work, and Sony is really good with their video work. So yeah, that's why I decided to switch over. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Cool. Tim is asking, what's the benefit of having him jump there instead of taking a photo in front of a green screen? Because it would make the masking process easier.
Okay, yeah, true. I get what you mean. I unfortunately didn't have access to a green screen, and a lot of my my photography is inspired in the moment. In the space. I don't like to plan out my stuff too much. I kind of just like to grab my camera, run and go. I'm like, I want to go and I want to go shoot, and I'm feeling inspired. So I just kind of go out, see what's around, and go from there. So I just use the space around me.
Yeah.
And
you don't want to be carrying a green screen around with you.
Yeah, and that would be cool if I had just some sort of back pocket, giant green screen. But unfortunately, I don't have that luxury. But that would be a really cool thing to have.
Yeah. Xavier says it also matches the lighting better too. So like you don't have to readjust the lighting on him because it's already, I mean, you did a little bit to make it more dramatic, but like it's already matched up with the environment.
Exactly. There's no like correction. There's no major corrections that I need to make, which is why I usually like to take 2 pictures when I'm in that spot, one with my subject, and then I ask my subject to move out of the way, and then I get another shot with just a blank background. So that way, if we do want to move him around, we have that background to fill in.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is pretty cool.
Good question. I think there are definitely times where a green screen would be easier, like if the background was super complex, but this background was fairly simple.
100%. Yeah, exactly. This one has got the red tones. There's really not much else to play with.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
I'm just going to use the clone stamp tool.
Just add those lights in.
And just add that in a little bit.
Cool. If you guys have any more questions for Bryan, we talked a lot about like how he got started in his career and all that yesterday, but if you missed it, happy to talk about that again. But yeah, we're excited to answer. You guys had really good questions yesterday, so
yeah, you guys were asking a ton of questions.
Yeah, excited to see what kinds of questions you guys come up with today.
just gonna make this look as clean as possible.
Cool.
That's what we're doing now. And I'm using, again, the clone stamp tool if anyone's wondering.
Kita says that should be a type of photographers. NPP, no plan photography.
No plan photography. I like that. That's just how I roll. You know, like I have an idea, and I just kind of want to go and execute. I get really hard on myself when I have an idea in my head, but then I don't actually do anything with it.
Yeah.
It just kind of sits there, and you know, when you're not doing anything about it, just I don't know. I don't feel good about it anyway. I'm like, I should be doing more work, because an idea is awesome. Ideas are great, but there are only so much without the actual execution of it, right?
That's true, yeah.
So.
And I think your process works really well with street photography, right? Because like, I feel like with street photography, you are shooting the environment and like whatever is there,
Yes.
and letting that inspire you instead of going out and trying to force something. You know, like, oh, I want a car like moving exactly this way. Like that may not happen, and then that's gonna be frustrating too.
For sure.
Even if you're trying to execute an idea.
Yeah, and then I guess consequences with that is some nights you just won't get a shot.
Sure.
Sometimes there's just it just happens, you know.
Yeah.
And it's it's tough because you know a lot of times you're trying to be consistent on social media and you're trying to, you know, do everything right and post properly on Instagram and do all that, but it can be tough. And so a lot of times I just like to say, you know, it's almost like it's up to the streets.
It's up to the
It's
streets.
up to
I
the
like
streets.
that. That's cool.
Yeah.
You know, and really, even if you planned everything perfectly, you still may not get the shot you want.
100%.
So, yeah, I think that's a good mentality to have, that like you're going to go out and get what you're going to get, and maybe some nights you're going to get multiple things and some nights you're going to get nothing, and that's art.
Yeah,
that's
how it
creativity.
goes. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Know?
I don't want to force it, you know. I just
Yeah.
don't feel like it's something that I'm passionate about, something I enjoy doing, and I never want to plan or be too like in my head about it. Although of course some days, you know, I have those days where, you know, you're feeling down or you don't get a shot and you get frustrated, but it's part of the process, right? So you just got to try to enjoy it.
Yeah. How do you feel like that translates to your client work? Like if you're working with a client, like you were talking about the card company yesterday.
Yeah.
Do you plan more for that, or do you kind of use the same approach?
Yeah, so see, in a situation like that, I think I like to plan a lot more.
Yeah.
Just because like you kind of can't just be, when there's deadlines and you know there's expectations.
You
You
gotta
kinda,
get paid.
Yeah, you kind of can't just be like, oh, you know, whatever happens today happens.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Yeah, but yeah, I do like to leave still a little bit of wiggle room. Even when I am doing that, because I
Leave
think
some room for like spontaneity and like things to
Yes.
happen. Yeah.
Yes, exactly. Because, you know, cool things are going to happen sometimes, and you got to be ready for that.
Yeah.
And they could help you, right? They could elevate your work.
Very true. What is your favorite city or place to shoot in? Devon's asking.
I've been taking pictures a lot in Toronto, honestly, to the point where I'm kind of like, it's just been too much, and I'm kind of familiar, like too familiar with it.
Yeah, you're ready for something fresh.
Yeah, so honestly, San Fran, from what I've seen so far, has been absolutely gorgeous. I'm definitely down to come back and take more pictures here.
Yes,
That would be awesome.
You should.
And do more street photography at night too, because I want to see the city more at night. And yeah, where else? I mean, I do want to do some landscapes too. I want to get into that as well. I want to explore Banff National Park, you know, some more northern parts in Canada.
Yeah. You were saying you want to do more landscape.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I honestly won't complain. Like, drop me off wherever. I'll just have fun. I'm still
You'll
exploring.
find a place to shoot.
Yeah, exactly. I'm not too concerned. I'm not
Yeah.
being too picky right now. I'm just kind of enjoying it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nora's asking, how do you deal with the months where you have too little clients? So if you don't have a lot of work, yeah, would you have tips for dealing with kind of downtimes in freelance?
Yeah, great question. I have a very flexible part-time job, and I kind of have that as like my backbone kind of thing if I ever need to fall back. I mean, I know there's at least some money coming in every month, so that's good to know. So if you can find like a really flexible part-time job, I definitely recommend it. But I would just say save. Don't try to. Gear can get really expensive. Don't get ahead of yourself. Although I think you should try to invest in yourself if you are taking it seriously, and if you want others to take you seriously, then you need to take yourself seriously and invest in yourself. But that being said, don't get too ahead of yourself. Make sure you save. Have that savings, have that. I guess again that also backbone.
Some padding.
Yeah, so you can kind of rely on that in case you have to. Because those months are gonna come where, unfortunately you can't get that gig.
Sure.
But also just kind of always be active and be looking out for opportunities and emailing brands and looking for those opportunities.
Yeah, you were talking yesterday about getting your first client just by sending them an email of a photo that you took. And I think when there's downtimes in freelance, that's a really good time to pursue clients that you would really want to work for, or maybe create work that you can show to those potential clients.
Exactly.
Like you were talking about yesterday.
Yeah.
That's a time where like you have the ability to do that, which is cool, because when it gets crazy, then sometimes you can't always be creating the work that you want to be creating.
100%. You just got to be proactive.
Be proactive and remember, I think freelancing work always comes in waves. I mean, maybe you reach a point where you're constantly busy, but I think most people experience it in waves. So don't freak out if it gets slow, because it's going to pick back up.
Yeah,
as long as you are like being proactive and putting yourself out there.
For sure. I'm just going to jump into Camera Raw here.
All right.
Get this going.
Those lights look great.
Yeah, so I've darkened it. I've darkened things out a little more just to make it a little more dramatic.
It's cool. It like leads your eye up. He's the focus, and then it kind of like everything, all the lighting is like leading right to him.
Perfect. That's exactly what I'm trying to do. Just gonna do a little bit of editing, not too much. Let's bring those highlights down a bit. Bring up the whites.
We have about 11 minutes until Chat and Win. So make sure you're in the chat. Getting ready to win some stickers.
Yeah. Cool stuff. Yeah, I know someone won. Was it 100 stickers?
It's 100 stickers, and you can customize them however you want.
That's so cool.
Put your logo, put an illustration.
Start branding.
Yeah. Get yourself out there.
Oh yeah. Someone yesterday was also asking if I use the dehaze slider. I think in this case, I'm actually gonna bring it down because I don't know. I think it adds a little bit more. I'm gonna be subtle with it. I'm not gonna do too much of it. But yeah, someone was asking yesterday, and it's very situational. It depends on the picture. Dehaze has an interesting effect depending on the picture you're editing. Sometimes it gives it a little bit of a glow, and you want that. Sometimes it makes things look too dark. In this case, there's a lot of shadow, so I don't want to play with it too much.
Yeah.
But there are instances where it's awesome.
It's kind of cool to like just open that up and then play around with all the different sliders, because then you can see like how they actually work, and then how they work for that specific image.
Yes, exactly. It's fun. It's honestly a lot of fun.
Tim says love the new texture slider.
Oh yeah, I did notice that. It is pretty cool. I haven't played with it too much. I'm still so used to like using clarity and stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, I definitely have to play with that a lot more.
Sean's asking if when you reach out to people, do you primarily use email if you're reaching out to new clients?
Yeah, email I think is my go-to.
Yeah.
Sometimes you'll get people coming at you. For example, for me, I get a lot of people coming through Instagram, asking me for stuff, just because it's kind of where I have my portfolio.
Sure.
So that's where I get a lot of people saying and seeing my work and just directly contacting me through there. But yeah, email I think is my main way.
Yeah. I think it comes across more professionally than if you were trying to go out and DM a bunch of potential clients.
Exactly.
If you can get their email, I think that's more.
Yeah.
It comes across better.
Exactly. Yeah, emails are usually like on business cards, so as well. Although business cards aren't used as much today, I think there is still like a place for them.
Yeah.
And I think it is important to have that on you.
Yeah.
And it just adds to that professionalism.
You never know when someone's going to ask you for it.
On the spot. Yeah, exactly.
Just keep them in your wallet or something.
Yeah.
Or you can use your free stickers from Sticker Mule to make little stickers with your information on it.
Try to win them today,
Pass them
guys.
out. That'd be cool.
Try to win them today. I know, I was talking about that yesterday. I've always thought about like going downtown and just like slapping a bunch of stickers everywhere. I think that would be a lot of fun.
Keith is asking, you probably covered this yesterday, but when did your photography become a business? So you covered that a little bit. Do you want to give a quick recap for like when you got your first client and how that happened?
Sure. Yeah, so it was pretty much, it's tough in the beginning to consider yourself like a photographer. And I personally struggled with that a lot. That was really tough for me. Just like writing alone in an email or telling people I do photography, you know,
Sure.
I own this stuff and I'm able to do that for you. That building up that confidence is really difficult. So in the beginning, I started doing some free work. And I think my first real client, which was like super exciting for me, I was actually out with a buddy of mine. His name was Mark, and he loves he's into magic, and he has like these interesting cards that he would always bring around with him, like deck of cards, like they were like green or all a bunch of fun different colors. And at that time it was cold. It was like in the middle of winter or something like that, and the water was frozen over. We were downtown, and I picked up one of his decks of cards, and I took a shot of over the ice, and I made it look like it was like floating.
Yeah.
And you saw the reflection in the ice, and I absolutely loved this shot. It was like super, super cool, and I was sad about it because I couldn't post it on Instagram because my theme at the time wasn't playing cards. It was just, it would have been a little random.
Yeah.
Because, you know, I was trying to keep a consistent theme at the time. But so it kind of sat in my hard drive for a bit. I wasn't sure what to do with it. And then eventually I decided, hey, why don't I actually reach out to the brand and send them the image and see what they say, see what they, you know, maybe I'll get some work. Who knows? I don't know. At the same time, I was kind of just being like, you know, maybe we'll send it, see some feedback. I wasn't necessarily thinking I'll get some work from it.
Yeah.
But I emailed them. I put in the work first, sent them, and they appreciated it. They loved it. They emailed right away, and I was like so excited.
Yeah.
And then after that, they wanted to send me more decks of cards. They're like, oh, cool. Why don't we send you more? And, you know, we keep this going. And I'm like, awesome. And then they reached out to me, and they were like, what are your prices? And I was like, whoa. You know, from that moment,
I don't know.
Yeah, from that moment, it kind of hit me. I'm like, I have no idea. Is that
what are they?
Really? So yeah, I guess from that moment onward, and that was maybe about like a year and a half ago that I started professionally. So I'm still fairly new, still learning a lot. But yeah, that's kind of how I started.
Yeah, through an email.
Yeah, through an email.
And through creating work that was fun and what you're interested in.
Exactly.
And yeah, you never know where that's gonna lead. It's very cool.
Yeah, I think the most important thing that you guys can take from it is I put in the work before it was expected of me. And I think that's why I stood out, and that's why I impressed him. It's because if there's a brand that you really want to work with, just, you know, pick up their product or pick up, you know, whatever you see they take pictures of, and try to mimic that style. Try to recreate it with your own art, of course. But try to recreate something that you think they would love to see, and send it to them, and you'll be surprised.
Yeah.
The world is pretty small with the internet and with DMs and with emails. Like you can put
reach
yourself
so
out
many
there.
people these days.
For sure.
It's really cool.
Yeah.
Tim is asking, any reason why you do the curves in Camera Raw instead of an adjustment layer?
I think I love Lightroom.
Yeah.
And so I think it's just my habits of Lightroom coming through. Yeah, I just love the sliders. It's pretty simple, pretty straightforward. I think there are cases where there's specific minor adjustments. Like I just want to mess with like skin tones, and I just want to, you know, adjust very specific things. But if not, if I just want to go and edit the entire image, then I'll jump into Camera Raw.
It's just what you're comfortable with.
Yeah. Great question. Thanks.
Lou's asking, do you recommend sticking to a specific subject, or do you just post any creative work that you do? I think you were talking about having a theme earlier, but do you still stick with that? Do you still recommend?
Yeah. I think it really depends. For me, I think it looks professional and it looks nice if your portfolio kind of has a consistency to it. It shows that you can deliver work consistently, and it shows that kind of they can trust you essentially. If a brand comes to you and they see and they like your style, then they can already know what to expect, and you feel a little more comfortable knowing that they've seen work that you know you can accomplish. So it's good to be able to be consistent within a certain style. That being said, in kind of like in my own time, in my own free time, go explore, go try new things. That's how you're gonna
develop
expand.
your style.
Exactly. That's how you're gonna grow. And so yeah, professionally, portfolio, I like to have a consistency. But other than that, I like to go out and try new things. And that's why I'm saying, like, I don't want to stick to street photography all the time. I want to try landscapes. I want to try nature. And yeah, I do a lot of product photography, like in terms of my client work.
Sure.
But portraiture is another thing that I'm really bad at portraiture. I love.
It's hard.
It's very difficult.
It's really hard. Yeah.
You working with other people is not easy. I like leave me in the streets, drop me off somewhere.
Yes.
I'll be on my own time doing my thing, and I'll
not
get lost.
having to like direct people or deal
Make
with
people
models.
feel comfortable.
Yeah.
Huge respect for people who do it, because it's honestly an art within itself. But yeah, for me, it's pretty tough.
Yeah.
Kudos to you if you're into portraiture and you can be super personable and you can make someone relax, and you know, and because you know when they're nervous, that comes through in the image, right? So it's not just about being good with the camera; it's about being good, being a great communicator.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. I think you make a good point too with clients coming to you and seeing your style and knowing what to expect. And I think that's why it's important to keep your portfolio mostly focused on the kind of work you actually want to be doing too.
Yes.
You know, if you don't want to be shooting weddings, then maybe don't put weddings in your portfolio. And if someone comes to you, you can have that conversation. But if you're like, I really want to shoot this kind of work, then have your portfolio filled with that, because then you're going to attract the kind of clients who want that kind of work.
Yes, very great point.
So, and yeah, sticking with your style and all of that too.
Yeah, very good point. That skipped my mind, but that's
well,
very important.
you touched on it with like the style,
Yeah.
and I think that's really important too. Like, you want clients who want your style and the kind of work that you're gonna produce, and I think that goes along with like the subject that you want to be shooting too.
You'll feel a lot more comfortable, you know?
Yeah.
And confident.
Yes. We have about 30 seconds until chat and win.
This image is just about done. I think I'm gonna hop into the next one.
Cool. That's
So-
perfect timing.
Yeah. So this one's just about done.
It looks so good.
Thank you.
You guys should definitely go watch yesterday if you missed it, because it was pretty fun seeing how like this image come to life.
I talked a lot yesterday.
There
I
was a
talked
lot of
so much.
questions, but
Yeah.
really good questions and really good answers. So, and like seeing this from start to finish, you should definitely watch yesterday's. We're going to take a really quick break for chat and win. Say hey in the chat. You'll have a chance to win stickers, and we'll be right back. Okay, we are back. Waiting to see who's going to win our stickers from Sticker Mule. So excited. Wish we could win.
I know, right? I want 100 stickers. I want to put my logo on stuff.
I know.
Well,
Hey guys, wow.
Hey, welcome.
Thank you guys for watching. Thanks for chatting. So many good questions. I know we missed some questions, so make sure to ask them again if we missed them. Not trying to ignore anything. There's so many things going on. So make sure you ask them again because we want to make sure we get to them and answer as many questions as possible. Xavier,
Congrats, man.
Congratulations. You'll win, or you'll get a message on Behance about how you can redeem your stickers, and let us know what you're going to do with them. And then if you didn't win, you can go to stickermeal.com/AdobeLive19. You can get 10 stickers for $1, and so we all win.
Sweet.
We all get stickers.
I'm down for that.
All right. Well, thanks for participating, you guys. Bryan is going to start on a new image now, but I wanted to remind you guys about the challenge. If you click right here above the chat, you can get a lot of information about the challenge. Today, the challenge is to adjust the color of an image using blending modes. So you can watch the replay if you missed the tutorial for that. Super useful tool, and Bryan's going to be reviewing those in about an hour, I think. So make sure you submit. We want to see your work. And yeah.
Awesome.
Cool.
Congratulations.
Yes. You want to show us the next image?
Yeah, so you should
So
be, yeah,
fun.
this is it.
Yes.
Yeah, so again, San Francisco inspired. I was running around downtown trying to look for just the perfect image.
So cool.
Trying to get some ideas. Yesterday I was talking a lot about playing with frames, and that's how I like to make things look real but not realistic. So if you play with your environment, you focus, and you start looking for like window frames or like what's the word I'm looking for? I guess like
rectangles and squares, or
yeah,
I don't know if that's what you're looking for.
yeah, certain shapes, for sure, like lines in the streets, grids. There's so much around, especially like geometrical shapes that can look really cool. And you can make them stand out. See, so in this case, I decided to use my phone and just make the streetcar pop. And it's also got a little bit of a, thanks. It's got a little bit of a fall theme since we're getting into that cooler weather, and those oranges are starting to come out a little bit. Yeah, you guys are so awesome in the comments. I'm seeing some love from home. Kate, John, thank you guys. So sweet.
Fun.
Yeah. So again, similar with our other edit, I started off with one picture like this, and then the other picture being this one. Now I believe I grabbed a streetcar from a different image from this one, and I kind of placed this one on this street. It was really hard to get this, and especially because I was by myself.
Yeah.
Shooting in the middle of the street. It's very dangerous. Don't do it, please. It's pretty dangerous. So I don't recommend doing it. And this is why I didn't want the train to get too close. Usually when I'm at home, I'm with other people, and I have people watching my back, and I can do this a lot more safely.
Yeah.
But this time we're keeping it safe. We got a far shot, and then we got a close shot. And because of Photoshop, beauty of Photoshop, we're able to make things safer.
Yes.
Make it closer than it actually was, and that's what we're doing.
Cool.
Yeah. So, and some of you guys may be wondering why I'm starting off in Lightroom, and I touched upon this yesterday, but just again, I just love the communication between Lightroom and Photoshop. The Adobe apps work really well together, and I'm able to post really quickly to Instagram because I just use a folder called Mobile Sync. So I'm able to edit on my laptop, sync that into my Lightroom mobile app, and then get a high quality download and just upload from there.
Cool. Well, along those lines, Keith is asking, how often and when do you post to Instagram? Do you have a schedule that you follow, or do you kind of just go with the flow?
I try to keep a schedule. Recently, things have been getting crazy, and I've been getting a lot more client work, and so I've been needing to focus on that a little more. But I usually try to keep consistency. I try to post at least every week. You know, there's a lot of people that say you got to post like multiple times a day.
Sure.
And sure, that may work if you're full-time, some making money through Instagram and brand deals. That would be fantastic. But I do freelance work at the same time, so you kind of got to keep a balance.
Yeah.
Great question, thanks.
Devad's asking, how did you connect with Adobe for the stream today?
So actually,
Should I pull up the picture?
Sure, yeah, go for it. You already know.
I already know, you tell the story.
Yeah, awesome question.
This one, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I was reached out, Adobe had reached out to me and they found, sorry, I'm getting a little mixed up. This picture was featured on Photoshop's Instagram page. And so the reason I'm here is because they saw that image and they were like, cool, let's put them on a live show, which is super awesome. Thank you, Adobe. You guys are awesome for doing that. Thank you. And how I got onto Photoshop was I had edited an image, and yeah, you could probably find it on my Instagram. It's a little lower, sure. And this image went viral, kind of like mini viral, Instagram viral, if you will, and it got featured a lot on a lot of different photography pages. This one right here. It got featured a ton of times, and it got a lot of viewership, and so that's how. And then I got a DM from Photoshop, from Adobe Photoshop's Instagram page, and they were like, did you use Photoshop to make this? And I was like, heck yeah, I made Photoshop to make this. I was like so excited.
No, this is just real, right?
That's it. It's 3D, you know.
That's
3D
it. It's just
printed.
coming out of the phone.
Yeah, that's a Gooderham building in Toronto.
It's really cool.
It's cool because it kind of fits the shape of the phone, that vertical shape.
Yeah, it's perfect.
So I think that's why it fits really cool. So yeah, so they found that image. Photoshop DM me. They're like, can we have your email? We got an opportunity for you. And I was like, heck yeah. I was so nervous. I was freaking out.
Yeah.
I was like, of course you're going to have my email. So yeah, and then from there, and then featured
And then you made that other image, and then...
Yes. Yeah. So, and that's how it goes. I think things just roll from there.
Yeah, just by putting your work out there.
Yeah,
by posting it, sharing it, not being afraid to put it out there.
Yeah, if I hadn't sent that email, I don't think I would have started taking myself seriously as a photographer.
Yeah.
So you just kind of get over it and put your stuff out there. That's what I was dealing with. So if you're in that same space, it's okay. Just have a little more confidence. Put your stuff out there, and there's value. There's value. You have a value.
Absolutely. Good lesson for life right there. Not even just photography or freelance, but
just in general.
Life in general.
Have the confidence. Go do it.
Go do it.
Whatever you want. Yeah, so I'm just bringing all these onto the same workspace.
Cool.
Awesome. Cool. I'm going to start with the phone here.
Okay.
A little bit. Going to adjust it just to make it a little straighter.
Oh, do you ever work with film?
Oh my gosh.
Have you ever tried?
I have tried. I'm not very good at it.
It's super hard.
It's something I'm still getting into, and something I haven't done enough, but that's definitely on my to-do list because I do appreciate film, and I do almost wish I came into the game when film was still like very relevant. Now things are very digital, and I feel like I just missed a huge chunk of photography, and yeah, I feel like I just missed that process. You know, people always say you have to appreciate, you know, printing your work. It's not just about posting it.
Yeah.
Because you know, you got to go send it and get it developed and have that feeling of not knowing whether or not something was exposed properly. You know.
Surprise.
I feel like I missed out on that. So yeah, I definitely want to explore film a little more.
Yeah. It's really cool just to play around with.
100%.
And I think it teaches you a lot about like photography in general, and you have to rely on your brain and not on the settings on your camera.
Exactly.
Auto settings.
Exactly. Again, and yeah, it's like you're saying, in digital, you know, you can argue that things are much, much easier.
Yeah.
But when you're rolling with film, it's all you. You have a lot more control, and yeah, you gotta take your time. You gotta be patient with it.
Yes, absolutely. Daniel says, Bryan, how hard is it checking your messages when a streetcar breaks through your phone every couple minutes?
Oh my goodness, Daniel is from the other edit. That's my friend.
Yeah. From yesterday.
My floaty friend.
Your floaty friend.
Daniel's super awesome. Anytime I need a subject, I call him up and he's down for it.
That's great to have friends like that.
Yeah, he's super, super awesome.
Tim is saying, by the way, there's a straighten tool if you use the crop tool, and it can also automatically add content to the missing areas if you check content aware. It's
very
cool.
Nice. Yeah, we were talking about content aware yesterday. There's some cool technology there. There's some cool. I'm still stuck in the pen tool days. I'm doing everything manually. I just trust the pen tool so much.
Once you get used to a tool too, I feel like it's hard to use the new one sometimes.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, you're like, this is how I work, and it's hard to like
let it go.
Yeah.
I did a lot of work in Adobe Illustrator as well, and so
the pen tool is like
your go-to. So
bread and butter in Illustrator.
Yeah, exactly. So I think it's a little bit of a habit from Illustrator as well. But yeah, no, Photoshop makes things like really quick, really easy, which is awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, Tim says absolutely the pen tool is there for a reason, which is true. Yeah, thanks for all the tips, Tim. If you try out landscape photography, what is the first photo or photos that you want to get? Or are you going to just use your spontaneity in landscape too? Do you have like a certain place or like maybe a certain nature element that you would want to photograph first?
Right. Good question. I feel like I haven't explored. I'm a city boy. I feel like I haven't explored enough Canada. I'm Canadian. I was born in Toronto, but I don't feel fully Canadian just because I feel like I'm missing out on like beautiful places like Vancouver, Nova Scotia. There's just tons around there that I'm really excited to check out. And I've seen a lot of pictures of like Banff National Park, and it looks gorgeous there. And I really, really want to go. Moraine Lake.
How far is that from you? Like, where is that located?
Pretty much like, well, Toronto's like on the east side of Canada.
Yeah.
And then Vancouver's like all
the way on and that's where Banff is? It's by Vancouver? Oh, got it. Okay.
Yeah.
So pretty far.
Yeah, it's far, but I'm excited. That's kind of where I want to go.
Yeah.
And I guess I could do a little planning in terms of like what weather, do I want to see if the lakes, do I want to take the picture when the lake is frozen over?
Yes, yeah.
I guess you got to start thinking about weather conditionings a lot more. Yeah, I love shooting in the rain as well. The rain is gorgeous.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, get those cool reflections.
Tim says I also like the new curvature pen tool. Have you tried that?
I don't think I've played with it much.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah?
In the future.
In the future,
In the future, if you want to play around with it.
Yeah, for sure.
Jim's asking, sorry if I missed this, but where did you study and was photography your major?
Good question.
Talk about school?
Yeah, let's do it. So after high school, I decided, I was like, let me take a gap year and take some more time to decide what it is that I want to do. And at the time, I was really into YouTube. I had my own YouTube channel. I was really into dance. So photography was not on my mind whatsoever. So I was like, let me take a gap year. Let me take my time. School is expensive. Let me do this right.
Yeah.
I feel like there was a lot of people around me that were kind of jumping into school. And I was like, okay, cool, but I don't know. I'm not 100% sure what I want to do. So I said, let me take my time. And then that's when I bought my camera. And then from there, I just kind of hung out throughout the year, just really started messing with photography, going downtown, a lot of late nights, taking pictures. and at the time, I think I had applied for Ryerson University, which is a really good like business and media production school in Toronto. I was like, just in case, I was like,
Sure.
let me still apply. And so I applied and I did the whole interview process and I actually got accepted. But at that time, I had already kind of started building some clientele. I was happy doing what I was doing. I felt like photography was kind of like this new thing. And I was like, okay, you know what? Maybe I won't go to school. Maybe I'll just, because it's such a creative field, photography, I think anyway, as long as you have a good portfolio
Yeah.
and you're an honest, genuine person, people and again, as long as you're honest and you're genuine, people are going to want to work with you, regardless of your education, I think anyway.
Yeah.
And so I kind of took the opportunity. I took that as an opportunity, which is a pretty tough decision to make because I was declining a university that I had accepted me, and Ryerson is pretty awesome too. So it was kind of a huge decision for me, and I know there was a lot of people around me saying like, "Are you sure this is what you want to do?"
Yeah.
But I said, you know what? It's okay. I'm gonna make it work, and yeah. So I took the risk, and yeah, I'm pretty happy that I made the decision. Honestly, I haven't all the money that I think I would have invested into school. That rather went into actual equipment, professional equipment, and to start taking myself a little more seriously. And I just kind of stayed persistent.
Yeah.
And clientele came. I built my portfolio, and you just, if you really want it bad enough, I don't think you need to go to school at all. I think you can make it on your own. Assuming it's a creative field, again,
Sure.
Obviously if you need to be a doctor or law school, you got to go.
Yeah.
That makes sense, right?
It's kind of
Trying to be a
important,
lawyer,
yeah.
you need that stuff. That there makes sense.
Yeah.
But if you're doing creative work, I think again, if you stay genuine, you stay honest with yourself and with other people, people will come, clients will come.
Absolutely. Yeah. Very true. I think there's a lot of creatives who are self-taught, and like a lot of people even who are on the stream who are self-taught, and it's really cool. Like you were saying, if you really want it and you're passionate about it and you're gonna put in the work to teach yourself, then
Exactly.
you're gonna be successful.
It's all about you, right? It's all about you and the work that you want to put in. And if you want it bad enough, then and you really enjoy it, you'll make it happen. Cool. I know we've got a few things going on. I've just got the opacity down, just so that I can see through a little bit here and see what we're gonna be doing.
Tim says, "Yeah, I hope my doctor didn't just watch YouTube tutorials."
Oh my goodness.
Me too. Yeah, there's certain fields where it's kind of impossible unless you go to school, but
Yeah.
but there's so many things you can do even without a degree.
Yeah, you just got to use your resources like this live
Yeah,
stream.
there's so many resources.
Yeah, exactly. Of course, YouTube. There's so much to learn.
Yeah.
So just try to keep that in mind.
Yeah.
And really be resourceful. Use social media. Put yourself out there. Whatever you got to do to make it happen.
Yeah. There's things that are so valuable in school too, like getting critique and things like that. But there are also so many places where you can get that outside of school, like even doing challenges with Adobe, or there's so many places out there where you can put your work out there and get critique and grow from that. So even, things like that, school is great, but yeah, like you said, there's so many free resources, so many ways that you can learn outside of school. And even if you go to school, you're going to mostly learn on the job anyway.
Yeah.
So you'll gain things, but you're also going to be learning things just by working that you won't learn in school.
Yeah,
So.
That's another huge point. A lot of the stuff you'll learn just by actually doing it. Sometimes school will teach you sometimes outdated things.
Sure.
I've had that experience anyway as well. And I've heard a lot of that from people.
Yeah.
It's things like in computer programming. I know like my brother went into computer programming, went straight to work, and he made that decision because he was looking at what the schools were teaching, and then he was looking at what was in demand in the market,
Yeah.
and he was like,
They weren't matching up.
there's a gap. They're not matching up, and he's like, why am I gonna go to school when I'll just invest in some books, learn the proper
Sure.
things, and now he's working at if you guys know TIFF, he works at Toronto International Film Festival.
So cool.
As a computer programmer, and he works on their website, and he's super stoked doing it, and he didn't even go to school for it. And he's like a super huge motivation for me, right?
Yeah. That's really cool.
Yeah.
Well, and that's why I think even if you do go to school, which is a great option for some people, and if you go to school, I think it's important to have internships or a job where you're getting that real life experience at the same time, if you can, if it's possible.
Yes.
So that you can kind of get that experience, make those connections, and also like figure out the direction that you want to go while you're still in school if you can.
Yeah. Exactly. You got time. Don't
Yeah,
rush it.
you have
Don't pressure
time.
yourself. I feel like when I was in high school, there was a lot of pressure, do it right. You have to know exactly what you want to do. And I really disagreed with that. I said, you know what? I was like, no, I'm still young. I have
Yeah.
time. School is always there if I need it.
Yeah, you can always go back. Yeah.
And
In
so,
the future
yeah.
if you want to.
Yeah, I just disagreed with that pressure. I didn't like that pressure of you got to know what you got to do for the rest of your life now.
Yeah.
That's how it feels
When you're
in high
18,
school.
that's so stressful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just
Yeah.
too much. So I said, no, let me take my time, take a gap year, and then within that gap year I discovered photography and decided
Life was changed.
yeah, that's
Yeah.
it. Now we're in San Francisco.
Yes.
Which is awesome.
We have about 37 minutes until the Daily Creative Challenge.
Sweet.
Make sure you submit your photos, show us how you use those blending modes.
Yes.
Excited to see your work.
Yeah, like I said, some awesome stuff yesterday, so I'm excited to see what you guys come up with today. Let's see. Gym badge, cool, thank you. Alberto, lol. I love how you guys are having your own conversation. I want to
Yeah.
be on in this too.
I know.
Don't leave me out of it. Let's see.
Good questions, guys. Thanks for keeping them coming.
Yeah, for sure. Cool. I'm going to use the pen tool and I'm going to outline this train. This took me a long time to do, so I don't think, maybe I'll do like a little bit of it, and then I actually had cut it out yesterday again using the pen tool, take my time with it. I feel like it's going to take up too much time, and I don't want to bore you guys either. So I'll do a little bit of pen tooling, and then I'll hop into just
The cutout one.
bringing in the full cutout. Yeah.
You guys can see how Bryan cut out his friend yesterday. If you want to see more of that, you can watch the replay.
Yeah, we played with I believe it was the subject. I think it was image.
Yeah, we did the
Select. and
select
then
subject.
Select subject.
Which is pretty
we played
cool.
with that, yeah.
If you have a really clean background, it'll like automatically select the main subject for you, so
Yeah.
you can
exactly.
see how that worked. I think it's a pretty new feature.
It is pretty new. Again, the
So-
technology, like
It's crazy.
the AI is just getting better and better in Photoshop. It's kind of scaring me.
It's kind of scary.
It almost feels
Too
like
far.
Yeah, it's like, oh my god, like am I gonna need to do any work at some point? Like
You're just gonna be able to think what you want your photo to look like, and then it'll just make it for you.
I feel
Oh
like
man, how
that,
nice would that be, though?
that would be pretty dope.
I mean, it's pros and cons, pros and
Yeah,
cons. But
exactly.
for some things, it'd be so nice. For client
Exactly.
work, so nice.
Oh yeah. 100%. Yeah. It's funny. I always street photography is always funny because you'll find the funniest things.
Like just people like hanging
Yeah,
out.
just people are so funny. I was laughing yesterday because I was. Oh, let's zoom out a bit. I was going around this woman's hair, and it was a little bit frizzy, but it wasn't too frizzy. Like I've seen hair that's like a
Sure.
lot worse, and working
Yeah.
with that is pretty tough. But I was just laughing because I was thinking to myself, thank goodness this woman didn't she took care of like her frizzies a little more that day because.
She put it in a ponytail.
Yeah, if not, that would have been much more work for me. So I was like, thank you.
Yes.
Thank you for
Isn't
taking care
that
of that.
so it's kind of weird to think about that, like, people shoot street photography all the time. You're probably in people's photos.
Yeah.
Or even just
exactly.
now, everyone using their iPhones taking photos all the time. You're probably in so many people's photos that you don't realize
That
and
you
will
don't-
never know.
Yeah, exactly.
Isn't that so weird to think about?
It is pretty weird.
Also, I don't know if this ever happened to you, but like I've come across a photo of myself in somebody else's photo that I didn't know.
Really?
Yeah,
Oh,
and that
that's
was a
pretty funny.
really weird feeling.
You're like,
Yeah. It was at a coffee shop that I go to often, and I was looking at the photos that were taken there for some reason, and I
That's so
saw a picture of
funny.
myself. I was like, wow, that's so weird. But it probably happens all the time, you know?
We
like
just
these
don't
people
know.
have no idea that they're
I'm
on a live stream right
editing
now.
his nose right
Yeah.
now. This dude doesn't know.
So interesting.
I also like remembering moments like this dude over here. This guy conducting the train
Yeah.
was super awesome. I was, again, kind of like crouched down taking the picture, and I was worried, right, because I thought he was going to be like, get out of the way.
Sure, yeah.
You know, they were stopped at this point. They weren't
Okay.
moving, so I was just crossing the street. But I thought he was going to be like, move, get out of the way. And no, instead he smiled at me and kind of like waved for the camera, and I was like, that's awesome.
Sweet.
Yeah. Yeah, so as you can see, this would take a while going around the whole thing. So we're gonna just open up the one that I have here. Let it open up. And there we've got the train selected. Again, I went around, all around the tracks, all around down. Yeah, it was a little weird. It was pretty funky. There's
Yeah,
like
it's kind of an
flags and stuff.
interesting
There's
shape.
feet. There's this bag here, and I was like, should I keep that? Should I not?
Sure. Yeah, I guess you have to make those decisions of if it is stronger with or without those
Yeah,
extra items.
exactly. So we're gonna bring this in, and
Cool.
boom. Yeah, these things can be pretty funny because you mess with your layers too much and you get lost. You're like,
Sure.
what's going on? You're like, if one thing's off, you see random things and you're like,
Yeah.
this is not what I wanted at all. We're just gonna resize this a bit. Oh, we still have our pen selection. We'll just delete path. Awesome.
Cool.
Cool. Yeah, from here, it's just a matter of like getting the right size.
Mm-hmm.
And also kind of trying to match the tracks here that this train is originally on, and then just trying to
Make it sit correctly.
get that right. Yeah,
Look as realistic as possible for a surreal photo.
exactly. And yeah, and we're gonna need to play with the shadows a little bit too. Add some shadows beneath the train, because there it just kind of looks like it's just floating.
It's kind of floating.
It's kind of just sitting there.
Yeah.
Which is not what we're going for. So let's make it a little bigger.
Okay.
Be a little more dramatic with it. And yeah, we'll darken all this out so you can't even see if the track is a little bit misplaced.
Sure. And Tim says you could also turn it into a smart object first, so you could scale it back up if you need to.
100%.
Without losing quality.
Yeah, without losing quality for
Yes.
sure. Yeah, I feel a little more confident just because I did this yesterday, and so kind of went through the process a little bit. But yeah, you should definitely be doing that. Always go the non-destructive route.
Yes.
That's always a good idea.
Yes, as much as possible.
Oh my gosh.
You'll be so glad when you get, halfway through and you gotta make some changes.
Yes, exactly. That's happened to me way too many times.
Yeah.
And sometimes you just gotta learn the hard way. Even now, I'm just remembering I should probably rename my rename my layers. We were talking about this yesterday. It's a good habit to get into, to name your stuff, organize it. Because then you're gonna be looking back. Someone made a joke yesterday. They're like, "What is layer 85 again?"
Yeah.
And you're like, toggling on
clicking
and
through.
off. You're like, "What is this? What is that?"
Oh, man. That's never fun. Like at 2 a.m. when you have work due the next day for a client, you're like clicking through.
Not at all.
Especially if you're working with clients, just name your layers.
Sweet. I'm just gonna, again, keeping this simple, I'm just gonna grab black and just the brush tool. And I'm just gonna, similar to yesterday, I'm just gonna try to fade out the shadow.
Okay.
And I'm gonna use the opacity slider just to help us out with that a little bit.
Cool. Vinny's asking if you'll just review the Discord submissions, and yes. So in about 30 minutes, we'll go through and Bryan will offer feedback on the images that were submitted in Discord, and you can access Discord. If right above the chat, there's a little challenge button, so click on that, and it'll have all the instructions on how to submit. And yeah. We'll be reviewing the ones from the challenge today, which was to use blending modes to change colors in an image. So make sure that you submit those. Got about 28 minutes.
Yeah, I still got some time. You could do a lot with 28 minutes.
Oh, yeah.
I found if you sit down and focus, there's a lot you could do with that.
And you can watch the replay for that stream if you want to see the tutorial and how Jesus makes magic. Photoshop magic. Kita says, Bryan, save your file.
Sorry?
Save your file.
Control S.
Control S.
Control S.
All the time. Get into habit.
Right? Control S. Control S.
It's like the best shortcut, with the exception of Command Z.
Nice, yeah. Very true. I usually like playing with the blending modes. I think it's freezing up on me because I'm trying to do stuff. There we go. I like playing with the blending modes to see what kind of different effects I can get.
Cool. A little demo for later.
And I think I'm gonna add just another layer of, get this a little more harsh beneath the train because I feel like it'd be pretty dark.
Yeah. Cool.
Oh, got my opacity down.
We were talking about that yesterday too, when you're like, this isn't working. My computer is not working. And then it's just because you like forgot to change the opacity back.
It's all the computer's fault.
It's all the computer's fault. It's all Photoshop's fault.
Nobody. Sweet. I'm gonna add just one more layer, I think, above the tracks themselves.
All right.
A little darker here.
Cool. This is coming to life so fast.
Cool beans.
Look at that.
Yeah. Sweet. One thing I do also want to do, it gives a really cool effect. I've noticed it's a good idea, especially when you're using the phone. Just add a little bit of like an outline of darkness around here.
Oh, yeah.
Because this just feels a little bit like cut and dry. But you'll notice how we're going to add that a little bit, and it's going to make it just feel a little bit more like it's a natural phone and it's a screen.
Yeah.
Or maybe it's just like a simple image. So I think we're going to go ahead and add that now. Yeah, like I was saying before, it's fun to toggle and then just see what, what things
where it
look
started.
Like. Yeah.
And sometimes when you see people's before and afters, so crazy.
Yeah. Some people have some crazy processes. Especially I find that if you can find, I personally don't use stock images that much. I like to use my own stuff. I just like the ability of being able to say something is like 100 completely, like 100% made.
Sure, by you.
By me, like 100%, through and through, like with the pictures. But that being said, if you're just using stock images, I feel like you have a lot more time because you're not actually taking the time to shoot. So with that time, like you can take your time and do like really complex edits and do really fun stuff. There's a lot you can do with stock images in general because you can find tons of different stuff.
Yeah, that's true. Very true. Yeah, I think there's benefits to both. Like stock images, sometimes you have access to images that maybe you wouldn't be able to go out and take yourself.
Yeah, exactly.
Which is really cool, and it does save you a lot of time. But then it's also cool to know that you were the one who took all those images. So there's pros and cons to both.
Yeah, exactly. Just gotta see what works for you.
Yeah. Caitlin says it looks great.
Aw, thank you.
Maria says amazing.
Yeah, you can already notice like with and without the shadow.
It makes a huge difference.
It makes a huge difference. Like, and we're gonna make this just a little less dramatic.
Cool.
And yeah, just that alone makes it look a lot more natural, a lot more realistic. Just adding, I don't know what it is. I guess screens, I don't know, have a vignette. I guess it's covering up a little bit of that that straight cut. So
it kind of just makes it look like, I don't know, like almost like the screen is like curved a little bit, which makes it feel more like three-dimensional or something. Like
that
it's more like coming out. I don't know.
Yeah, everything just, I think the way I look at Photoshop, I just look at something and I think, okay, with lighting or with like what makes sense? What makes sense with lighting? What makes sense in, with how things should look?
Yeah.
For me anyway, some people like doing very like, I guess, abstract and going into like real, like non-realistic things, and you can get some really cool effects with that. But I personally like paying attention to lighting and paying attention to just if things make sense or they don't make sense.
Yeah.
Obviously, to a certain extent, things aren't going to make sense. There's a train coming out of a phone right now.
Yeah.
Right, like that's not
real. No one's
real.
going to think it's actually real.
Exactly.
but you still want it to feel like, oh, this could be real.
Exactly.
I think like really like, I think you're right, there are some times where you kind of like completely break the rules of reality, but I think there's also something to say for like surrealist images that like still have that element of like reality and make you feel like, okay, like this could even, maybe it's just like a dream or something like that, but like it's still like something real.
Yeah,
you know?
Exactly. If you can get the lighting to look realistic, then it has this cool effect where it's like it's real, but it's not. But it
real.
Looks cool.
Yeah, it just looks like
it feels like it could be, but
could be a thing.
Yeah. So this is a nice sweet spot.
Do you have any tips for jumping into more complex editing, like something like this, versus maybe sticking with Lightroom?
I would say, so organize your files, definitely. I like to plan things out. And think about perspectives, angles, and lighting. A lot of times, because I am taking my own pictures, I do have to worry about angles and things looking right. So I would say before you're going into a complex edit, think about where you want to lay things out. Even if it's in your head, cool, or if you want to open up a different document and just lay things out. If you have to draw it out, whatever you got to do, just think about the angles and the perspectives and the lighting and where it's going to come in from. And that way you'll be a lot more organized and you'll be able to see things better before it's even there. Yeah, because when you're editing like the sky and then you're adding like a track and then people and then like the moon, or if you're adding like tons of different stuff, like it's good to kind of have an idea beforehand.
Yeah, pre-plan.
Yeah, exactly.
Caitlin's asking if you can post this on your Instagram when it's done.
Yeah, for sure. I think I'm gonna wait till the fall time to make it very
Ooh.
like fall themed.
Okay, so you gotta go follow Bryan. Wait for him to post it, and then make sure you comment and say that you saw it on Adobe Live.
Yeah, exactly. You saw how it was done.
But you gotta follow.
Yeah, the reason I like this image too is because there's a lot of reds, there's oranges, and like I said, we're getting into that fall theme, so we can really play with that.
Yeah, it's fun.
Yeah, right now I have a lot of like blacked out images. I'm doing a lot of street photography at night. I just posted something yesterday, and it's like this blue neon picture. Maybe we can even pull it up.
This one?
It's let's see, reset. Maybe it just needs to. Oh, looks like we're.
I think my computer disconnected from the internet.
Yeah.
No worries.
I'm experiencing a little. Did you try the Adobe guest?
In the meantime, we'll just keep editing. Don't
Yeah,
worry, guys.
technical difficulties. Hold on one sec.
Yeah, I noticed the Wi-Fi's a little wonky in here.
Yeah.
Do you need the password?
I know the email. I don't have the password. Ooh.
Here, I'm gonna see that little iPad in front of you.
Yes.
I'm gonna type it in there for you. Okay?
Perfect. Thank you. Technology.
Give me a moment.
Cool. Stay tuned, guys. The suspense.
The suspense. Yeah, I think a lot of people liked it. I played around. I'm using a lot of colors these days. Playing a lot with that. Just because before I was a little more, I was into the whole look of like keep doing like unsaturated colors and then having one thing like really, one color saturate, one thing pop. I was really into that, but now I'm getting into more of like mixing, so like light blues and oranges and purples, and just like I guess accentuating the lights of the city at night.
Cool.
It's a lot of fun.
Well, I'm excited to see it in a minute.
You guys can you guys can.
You guys
see
should
it
go
too.
on Bryan's Instagram.
You guys can pop on. You
And
guys,
see.
yeah. Just going back, fading this a little more because
Okay.
it was really blurred out.
Okay.
So
Thank you.
yeah, I think that's looking a little better. Yeah, and I'll go back and forth a lot of times. Like something looks right. Like I already feel like this lighting is looking a little interesting. So we might go back and adjust that too.
Here we go.
We're good?
Yes.
Sweet, we're back.
Thank you. Oh, maybe. Hold on.
You can already kind of see it.
You can kind of see it. It's right here.
That's the
It
one I'm
may or
talking
may
about.
not load.
Yeah, so a lot of
There you go.
people, I was even getting comments like, you can see, I think it was like someone
There
was
you
like,
go. I'm
how
just gonna zoom
did
in
you
like
do
this.
this?
Here we go.
Yeah, someone was like, how did you do this? So I love doing these shots because they're a lot of fun.
Yeah, super fun.
Yeah, I'm working on a tutorial to post on my IGTV as well.
Guys, now everyone has to go follow it.
I'm trying to, give out the knowledge, share what I know.
Yes.
Because a lot of people like this, and I've done this before as well. I think
Okay.
if you scroll down to, there's,
Who's trying to I can't zoom out.
I just
Okay.
love doing this because you don't need too much. And yeah, scroll down. There
Here.
it is. Yeah, so with that taxi, yeah, like people
really
love doing
cool.
this effect, and it's really easy, and a lot of it's done in camera. There's no photoshopping at all with this, which is really cool. You just kind of like shoot at a low shutter speed, and you like track the car as it comes across.
That's really cool.
And yeah, if you practice that enough, you can get like a really clean shot, and you get these like cool lights. But anyway, I'll get into like a tutorial
Yes.
on my IGTV.
Everyone go follow Bryan. Tim just dropped the link to his Instagram, so make sure you go check it out.
That's so sweet. Appreciate the love, guys. Thank you.
Of course.
Yeah, I was even getting some feedback and stuff from yesterday's stream.
Cool.
Getting some DMs. So thank you guys.
Good.
Yeah.
15 minutes until the Daily Creative Challenge.
That's gonna be so cool.
Go submit. Show us your color changing, your blending modes, how you edit,
All the stuffs.
all the stuff. We want to see it. Ooh, Caitlin's asking, what's your favorite post on your Instagram?
Ooh, that's a good
That's
question.
so hard. That's like naming a favorite of one of your children or something, I feel like.
I know. It's tough, man. Good question, though. I feel like I really liked... so I was able to do a plane tour around Toronto and the CN Tower.
Uh-huh.
Um,
Can I find it?
yeah, sure. It's actually that one right there.
This one?
Yeah, it's one of my more recent ones.
Okay. Oh, maybe. There we go.
And yeah, this was just such a cool opportunity. I think the best pictures are the ones that you can like remember
That's
and
really
you
cool.
remember a moment. Yeah, this was like really, really awesome. And it was a surprise. So it was actually my girlfriend that so she knew that I wanted to go on this plane tour, and I've been
That's
wanting
so
to do it for a
cool.
while. Yeah, and I was super stoked about it. And yeah, I wasn't expecting it. It was a complete surprise. And yeah, this was just like such an experience. And again, I think it's just because of the experience itself.
Yeah, it has a like sentimental memory, but then it's also you created work that you really loved.
Yes.
That's really cool.
Exactly. It was just one of those moments, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So I see these pictures and I really think back, and I'm really grateful.
How cool.
So yeah, this was probably one of my favorite. I even have that picture printed on my mouse pad.
Oh, look at that.
Or yeah, I don't know if you could see it.
That's super
But
cool.
yeah, I've got it printed
I
on
love
my
it.
mouse pad.
There you go.
Yeah, that just I think that there's a few that I'm proud of.
Mm-hmm.
Even I think it was the second last one that I posted, that I was playing with like some neon framing. Yeah, that one in the middle. I was playing with some neon framing there. That was a lot of fun. That was a new project, and yeah.
Cool. Good question.
Yeah, great question.
Go follow Bryan. Right here. Oh, man.
Awesome. I think we're almost ready for coloring. I'm just gonna adjust the shadow a little more.
Okay.
Again, there's just some that I'm not liking about it.
Tim's asking, he says, this is really cool. Are you going to add shadows below the fingers?
I could probably make them more dramatic. I
Mm-hmm.
think I might do that. And add a little bit more here.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's obviously, of course, some shadows here already.
Sure.
I could make those more dramatic.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I think I'm gonna do that. That's a good point. Because, yeah, there's also the cool thing about taking your own pictures is that if you're organized and you kind of see what you're gonna do ahead of time, a lot of times things can be accurate with lighting because you're in the situation and kind of taking those images, and that's why it's good to use a tripod to be exact as well.
Mm-hmm.
And you can get some pretty cool stuff. And yeah, it's always, again, for me, I love being accurate. I love paying attention to the little details that people appreciate.
Yeah, it just makes it look finished. Even if people might not realize that they're
Right.
noticing it, they're gonna subconsciously realize it.
Yeah, exactly. And there's a really cool effect with that.
Yes.
It's like in the back of their mind. In
Mm-hmm.
the back of their mind, they appreciate it just a little bit more.
Yes.
And then the people that do see it, they're like, oh, cool. You know, he took his time and he thought about this. So.
Mm-hmm. Caitlin's asking if you used your 50 lens for this. Your 50 millimeter.
My 50 millimeter. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I did. So notice the nice bokeh.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Blurred out background.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the 50 is really good because it's called a nifty 50.
Yeah.
I like to call it that because it goes down to an aperture of 1.8, which is really, really nice. You get some smooth backgrounds. Yeah, and again, it's just keeping in mind, like for this shot, one thing that I was having trouble with was angling the phone how I wanted it to.
Sure.
So I just got various pictures, you know, one where it's tilted a little more forward, one where it's tilted a little more towards me.
So you had variety.
Yeah, you don't know what's gonna work
Yeah.
once you're in post and you're seeing stuff. So it's good to have options and take multiple
Yes,
pictures.
always good to have options.
Yes.
So you don't have to go reshoot.
Yeah, exactly. I should probably take the sidebar out of this side because this is a problem.
It's okay. Real life. Looks great.
Yeah, I'm just trying to think about a little more. But thank you.
You're welcome.
Let's see. We can. Yeah, I think this is just throwing me off.
Beatrice says, when are you coming to the UK? We need your Photoshop expertise here. You're
Oh,
doing
that's
great.
so sweet. Thank you. That'd be a lot of fun, actually. There's so many places. I just started. I don't know where I'm gonna end up next.
Yes.
I would love to. I'm just saying yes to everything.
As you should.
I'm just
Yeah.
going with the flow.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I really don't know what's next, but hopefully I can save up some money and yeah, maybe I'll go to the UK.
Who knows?
Who knows?
Who knows? Do you have any upcoming travel plans?
Not at the moment. San Francisco caught me off guard. I was like, what? San Fran? Cool, let's do it.
So you never know what's coming next.
Yeah,
Could
exactly.
be more things that are going to like surprise you.
Yeah, exactly. I have no idea.
Yeah. Okay, this question is probably my favorite question that's ever been asked on the stream.
Whoa.
I know, it's just really interesting. Daniel says, you're stuck on an island with a laptop and 3 Photoshop tools. What are they?
Ooh, wow, okay.
If you could only have 3 Photoshop tools, what would it be?
Let's look here. Okay, the pen tool, it's just, I need that.
Very useful.
I need the pen tool. I feel like I just need it. I don't know. Again, maybe it's just that Illustrator background talking, but I need the pen tool.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm lost without it.
It's very versatile.
Yes. I'm gonna say.
It's so hard.
I know, right? I want to hear what your answers are after too.
Oh man, I don't know. It's so hard. Okay, go.
Clone stamping is pretty useful too. Text, I don't know, not really. Pictures say 1,000 words, you know. So I don't know. I don't think we need that. I'm gonna say the pen tool. I'm gonna say the selection tool, the quick select.
Yeah.
I think I use that a lot. And I think I'm gonna, I don't know. I think I'd finish it off with the zoom tool. No, I'm kidding.
The zoom tool. You do use that a lot though.
You do use it a lot, but I don't think I would be lost without it.
Yeah, man.
And I think oh my goodness, I messed this up so much yesterday
The clone
too.
stamp.
The clone stamp.
It's because you're not used to, nobody sits around saying like, oh, I'm going to use the clone stamp. Yours just in your head. So when you have to say it out loud, then all of a sudden it sounds weird.
Right. Yeah, so I'm going to have to say clone stamp tool, pen tool, and the quick select.
Quick select, yeah.
Yeah, what about you? What are your answers?
Quick select, I think, for sure. Oh, Tim says the camera raw filter. That's very useful too.
Oh my goodness, yeah.
Does
That's
that
so
count?
good.
I guess that counts as one tool.
I think so. Maybe just one.
Xavier says, how many tools are the adjustment layers? Yeah, okay, I think quick select and camera raw and either the clone stamp or the blemish or like the, what's it called? I guess clone stamp is more useful than like the blemish.
The blend, yeah,
You know what I'm trying to say?
I know what you're talking about.
The blemish eraser. But I feel like I use that a lot.
Yeah,
Just to like erase things.
yeah.
The spot healing. That's what it is.
Spot healing.
The spot healing brush. Yeah. Or maybe that's what Tim means. Tim says quick select, the brush, and camera raw filter. Van Dam says quick selection, move tool, and brush.
Cool. What do you guys? I want to hear what you guys.
Pen tool, brush, and gradient. Yeah, let us know.
Gradient's
This
good.
is a really interesting question because 3 is just so few.
Daniel, great question.
Yeah.
Awesome question.
Daniel's going to start like a whole big debate here. Tim says camera raw is one big adjustment layer if you make the layer a smart object first. Brian.
Yeah, you got to use it. You got to take advantage of those smart objects, honestly.
Yeah. But I guess that's true. It's just one big tool. And that's useful because you can do so many different things in it.
Yeah, it's like Lightroom in Photoshop. It's like mini
Yeah.
Lightroom. It's like
Yeah.
if you were to just shove Lightroom all into Photoshop.
Yeah.
Yeah, camera raw.
Yeah. Cool. Good question. Let us know what you guys think. About 4 minutes to get your submissions in for design feedback. Make sure you show us how you use those blending modes. If you can share before and after too, I always like seeing that. It's cool to see like what the before was and then how much awesome work you did on it.
Exactly. Yeah, there was some before and afters yesterday as well.
Yeah, it's really cool.
It's good to see.
Yeah. Ooh, do you have any cool projects that you want to do in the future? Like you had the floating people project. Are you going to keep working on that? Or do you have more projects you want to work on?
Yeah.
More ideas in your mind?
Good question. I'm getting, I don't know, in terms of photography, I'm not sure. I do have a lot to learn and grow in terms of portraiture, as I was saying before.
Yeah.
So that's definitely something I want to get into. But I don't know. I'm messing a lot more with video.
That's cool.
Now.
Yeah.
I started vlogging like a few weeks back, and that's been like a lot of fun. And I guess it was perfect too. I didn't know while I started vlogging that I was gonna be in San Francisco at the time.
Yeah.
But now it served me pretty well because now I came here and I was like, okay, cool, I'm gonna vlog this and it's gonna be an awesome vlog. So yeah, I'm gonna be posting that on YouTube when I get back.
Okay, follow Bryan on YouTube if you want to see his San Francisco adventures. I'm just promoting all your things now, but seriously, go follow him.
Yeah, I think it'll be really cool. I don't know, I like sharing wherever I go. So yeah, I want to get I'm getting into the vlog world. That's been pretty fun.
Cool.
Yeah, if there's any other new projects. Besides that, I don't think so.
Might just be inspired by something.
Maybe, probably. It's again just I'm just saying yes to whatever comes my way. Trying to think if there was any cool pictures that I had caught yesterday too. I went to the pier, which was really awesome. That was pretty sweet. And again, just like the color and the buildings that.
Ooh, I like that biker there.
That you can see. Yeah,
That's cool.
I waited just for the right moment.
Oh, thanks, Tim. Tim dropped your YouTube channel.
Appreciate that. Thank you, Tim. Yeah, these streetcars were so cool. I was taking so many pictures of them.
Yes, they're fun. They're really classic San Francisco.
Yeah, I had to hop on one. And getting these like lower street shots are really awesome too. And I love how you can just see the mountains in the back. Like everything's so clear. This was just a little bit of my day, but again, I'll get more into it in the vlog. I'll show more. This was just off of Lombard Street, which is really cool. You know, you got that wavy street. I don't know if you guys have heard of it. I want to
super wavy street, like windy street.
Yeah, I want to come back at night because I want to see like all the lights and stuff.
Yes.
But yeah, you got like there's a lot of beige going on, which is cool. You got like some yellow houses pop in. It's pretty cool. I'm probably gonna over exaggerate this edit later.
Cool.
Yeah, you can see the bridges in the back. Super gorgeous. I love San Francisco. So yeah.
Well, you definitely have to come back. A lot to explore here.
For sure. Cool. So I've just kind of merged everything, and I'm gonna hop into Camera Raw now.
Okay.
And
just a couple more seconds until design feedback. If my laptop will stay connected to the internet. Trying something else.
Yeah. Also, don't freak out if you see this happen when you open up Camera Raw. It's just it's taking into consideration the whole image, so that's why it's expanding like to the edge of what this image has. That's why you have it peeking through. But it'll crop properly back to what you actually see. This freaks me out sometimes. I'm like, oh my gosh.
Yes. Okay.
But
I think it worked.
okay, cool.
I think we're good.
Let's get into it.
Cool. So the challenge for today was to use blending modes to change colors in your images, and hopefully the internet just stays working so we can see all your guys' stuff. But thank you for submitting. And if you want to watch the replay, want to see how to do this, you can watch that from this morning. You can still submit these challenges at a later date. There's a little past challenge tab, so you can always submit and get feedback on even past challenges, which is really cool.
Sweet.
So cool. Here's our first one. So it looks like this was the original.
Okay, cool. So it started off blues
And then
orange. Wow.
changed to some
So cool.
sunset red colors over here,
We
kind
got
of like
a
a fade.
gradient,
Yeah, and then this beautiful purple hair.
That's awesome.
Pretty awesome.
Yeah. You masked that pretty well. The hair looks really clean.
Mm-hmm.
Hair looks really clean. That's cool.
Yeah.
I wish.
How fun.
Yeah, if there was anything, this already looks awesome. I would say maybe adding a little bit more depth and contrast to the suit on the left. Maybe making that belt stand out a little more.
Maybe down here.
Yeah, adding in just a little more contrast because I feel like you lose a little bit of the texture overlaying those colors. But besides that gradient is awesome.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I could pull off that.
The outfit?
Yeah, I don't know if I could pull off
It's
that.
very
outfit.
bold.
It is pretty bold. But this looks awesome. Good stuff.
Cool. Let's see. Ooh, I like this, like how you put the before and after like that.
Cool. I like
Wow.
this teal and orange. That's so clean. I wonder what he's thinking about.
Yeah.
It looks like he's thinking about some serious stuff.
I think I like this shirt color even better than the original.
Oh, yeah.
It looks great. I mean, the original is great too, but I just like that the nice like orange color is really good.
Yeah, exactly. I love
very
that.
fun.
Again, nice color. Nice color choice. That blue, teal, orange. Always works really nice together.
Yeah. Let's see if we can. Why it's like my computer's being so annoying.
This is super clean. Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't have even noticed if the before wasn't there. I would have been like, yeah, that's what the dude's wearing.
Yeah.
This is his
Yeah.
clothes.
Great job.
This is awesome.
Cool. Oh, here we go. Okay, so this is the original,
Cool. Very vibrant.
and then
Whoa.
there's the edit.
Blended in. I love that.
So green.
Yeah, this looks awesome. That's so cool. I would I'm just trying to look for things to say, because these are looking so clean, so good.
Yeah.
Technically, this looks awesome. I think it'd be cool if that center stem was like a different color.
Yeah.
Make that pop, make that stand out a little more, because I feel like it's coming up like towards the camera, and I feel like it's almost like a focal point, and I feel like it'd be cool if we kind of made that pop and stand out a little more, and make it like, I don't know, some glowing purple, or I don't know, some glowing yellow, something cool.
Yeah, absolutely.
But yeah, this looks awesome. Details awesome.
Yeah. Good job, you guys. Let's see. I don't know what color this was before, but it looks very natural.
Clean.
Yeah.
Yeah, this looks like an advertisement.
Yeah,
This looks
it
like
does.
professional
An
advertisement.
adventure ad or something.
Yeah, this looks awesome.
Cool. Yeah, and this stock image, it's super useful to use stock images to like play around with new techniques and stuff, because you don't have to actually go out and shoot. You can take advantage of all of the resources available to you. Oh, cool.
So we have the original, we have new color, and then the adapted pattern. So it looks like we've got a little bit of a texture pattern going on at the bottom that you added, which is really cool. That's cool. And yeah, that adds to making it feel more natural. I feel sometimes when you put color over and you try to change it, or you're adding layers, things can look a little off. So it's good to there's kind of an in between. You either add or take away, but
Sure.
sometimes adding just the right things, such as this texture, can make it feel more real. So sometimes it's just a few more steps away from making it look like more realistic. But this is super clean. I love that.
Yeah,
I love it.
looks great. Jumping back to this, Tim says the original color was blue. So
Okay, cool.
it looks great. Good job.
And I guess
Yeah, here you go, dark blue to white.
dark blue to white. It must have been tricky going around the belt, the belts there, but it's so clean I can't even tell.
Yeah,
So it looks awesome.
great job. Oh, here we go.
Oh,
Here's
okay,
a
cool.
yellow. From blue to yellow.
That's funky.
Well, maybe. Okay. Just not even going to try to click in right now. The internet is saying no.
says
We can
no,
kind of
so.
see it here.
Yeah,
That looks
that's cool.
great. That's beautiful. It's a fun color.
Yeah. I would play with gradients too, like in that other one.
Mm-hmm.
Mess with
That could be
gradients.
cool.
That'd
Yeah.
be cool. Yeah.
Cool. Looks like
Format.
before and after.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I see a little bit of contrast added.
Mm-hmm.
So a little bit more depth.
Yeah, it could be cool to even play around with changing the colors of these buildings, you know?
Yeah, you got like some yellows on that initial building, and you got some orange there too. Yeah, I feel like when I was first, like I kind of mentioned this before, but when I was going into like taking pictures and editing and posting on Instagram, I was very careful with changing colors and making things, because the more you change color, the more things can look unnatural. And so it's a little intimidating at first because you don't want to make it look amateur, right?
Sure.
You want to have good work to show.
Sorry, guys. Hold on.
But I feel like I should have done the opposite. I feel like I should have just gone full force with playing like with a tons of different colors, because you learn a lot more.
Just go back.
Okay.
Just keep trying, guys. Sorry.
Cool. It's okay. We're going to hop back over to the edit for a second while I
Yeah.
try to fix this. I'll let you know if it gets fixed.
No worries. Sounds
Sorry. Continue what you were saying.
good. No worries. Yeah. So I think in the beginning I was like very like, I don't want to change colors too much, but honestly it's a great idea in the beginning, like right in the beginning. Play with it, have fun, go all out. I was too conservative. I was like, but it's gonna look weird, it's gonna look different. Like that's okay, that's totally okay. That's what Photoshop is for, right? Creating stuff that isn't actually real and getting what's in our head, and even if it is funky and crazy. And you just learn so much more not being afraid and just going for it.
Yeah, and so that's kind of how you figure out what the limits are, or like what looks good, what looks natural, what looks maybe like a little bit off by like playing around and then putting it out there for people to give you feedback and constructive criticism. So the challenges are cool because you get to play around with tools maybe you wouldn't use, or maybe in a different way than you typically use them, and then you can get feedback from people like Bryan or other people on the Discord, sharing like their thoughts on your work.
Yeah.
Super cool. But yeah, I think you're right. Like, don't be afraid to experiment, play around, see what, so, like your hair would look like blue. I don't know.
Yeah.
You don't know. You don't know till you try it.
Yeah, exactly. And that's one of the things when you start doing a lot of client work, you end up doing and thinking a lot about like what they want and, making things proper, but make sure you leave space for like creativity and messing around, and where you don't have to stress, where you don't have to stress about things being perfect, because you got to enjoy this. It's like, it's awesome to make money from it. But, the original plan for me was to just enjoy, travel, explore, and do my thing and take pictures, right?
Absolutely.
And so, yeah, don't forget about why you started doing whatever it is doing, not even just photography wise, but.
Yes. Tim says if it doesn't work, just undo.
Yep.
There you go. It's true.
There's nothing to lose. Nothing to lose.
Work non-destructively and then undo.
Yeah, exactly. I'm going to hop into
Okay.
the tone curves. Actually, maybe I'm getting a little too ahead of myself. Maybe we'll go back into this original. I love the tone curves.
Get too excited.
I know, I get too excited. I'm like, let's go do this
Let's
first.
go.
I know that in the tone curves, I love just how much control you have over the contrast with the tone curves, and I like manually bringing in my own contrast, choosing whether or not which colors come in and through the shadows and stuff like that. I love using the tone curves for that.
Yeah.
So
Cool.
I know I'm gonna bring back some of that contrast, so usually one of the first things I do is bring that contrast down quite a bit, because I do, again, love accentuating it in the tone curves.
Cool. This part is so fun because I feel like then the image is really like.
Yeah, this is like
Comes
the
to life.
final hit.
Yes.
And you won't notice it too much in this image, but sometimes bringing the highlights down can can bring back some of those overexposed areas, which is nice. That's another good tip. It's always good to shoot for your highlights. And what I mean by that is just shoot, even if you're underexposing a little bit, if you shoot raw, that's always great too, because then you can always bring it back and post a little more.
Yes.
It's easier to save your shadows and bring back your shadows than it is your highlights. I like to say protect your highlights.
Yeah. Good advice. Still trying to fix my Wi-Fi, guys. Sorry. Hopefully we'll be able to get back to your challenges in just a few minutes.
Yeah, no worries. We just roll with the punches.
Just roll with the punches. It's a live show right here, guys. Live show.
Is there anything that's like happened that you were like, oh my goodness, no? Like, has it ever
Not
like
to
completely
me.
shot down? Or like
There was one second where at some point I forget
that's
who I was
horrifying.
hosting, but something happened where it like shut down for like a second, but it was
Oh my goodness.
it was very brief.
Okay,
Yeah,
good,
it was
good.
not really. It wasn't a big thing.
Yeah, that's
Or maybe the sound maybe cut out for a minute.
Okay.
Maybe that's what it was. I think it was the sound, and we didn't
sound,
realize
yeah.
that we were still talking.
Right.
And then people in the chat also were like, "We can't hear anymore."
I hear you.
Something like that, but it wasn't even that big enough that I like it was
Okay,
super
good.
significant to me.
Good.
But yeah, you know, when you're doing live stuff, like you never know what's gonna happen.
I'm like holding off on like Instagram lives. I'm thinking about it a lot
Yeah.
more now because I don't know. I'm
You're
enjoying
comfortable
this.
now. Yeah,
I'm enjoying
you're
this.
Not,
I'm
you're
actually
pro.
having fun.
You're professional now.
I don't think so just yet.
You
Thank
are.
You.
You are.
Thank you. I appreciate the compliment. But yeah, I've been holding off on that because it's you think live and you're like
Yeah.
so scary, like anything could happen. Like, I don't know.
I think lives are so cool though when people who are professional do them because it just shows that they're human, right? So if something happens, like
Yeah.
you know, even like there's been guests where you know something like glitches in Photoshop or like a tool kind of like doesn't work exactly how you think it's gonna work, and that's real life, you know. That's
Yeah,
if
that's how it actually is.
if you're home like editing by yourself and nobody's watching you, there's gonna be things that happen, and so I think showing that and letting people see that is really inspiring because then when they go home and they're working on something, they're not gonna feel so frustrated when something goes wrong because that's just life, you know.
That's an awesome point.
So
Yeah.
I think it's cool when people are real and they let you see that, like, hey, I make mistakes too. Or like sometimes my computer shuts down, or, you know, sometimes I forget to save something or whatever it
Exactly.
is. That's real life. So even if you're professional, things happen.
Yeah. And that's what it is. You're just learning like problem solving,
Mm-hmm.
right? Like just learning to again roll with the punches.
Exactly.
And just keep moving forward.
Yeah. So you should do lives. So even if
I
something
guess-
crazy happens, like,
My mom will
okay.
come in the background,
yeah.
say something funny. I'm like, Mom,
Mom, I'm doing a live.
that would be jokes.
Mom, I'm trying to do my job.
Trying to work here.
Trying to work, Mom.
So funny. I've seen that happen in live streams. Yeah, I
people's
get.
kids sometimes like run into.
Yeah. It's too
But it's
funny.
cute. It's like whatever.
Yeah.
That's life.
And I guess it's cool if when you look up to someone too, if there's someone that you like really respect their work
Yeah.
and they're putting themselves out there. I think there's a respect
Yeah.
to that, and yeah.
Absolutely.
I just wanted to talk about this real quick because I
Oh,
thought it was
yes.
really cool.
Please.
So I like doing, again, with the tone curves, I like bringing back that contrast that I had taken away initially. And I do that just by making like a little bit of an S curve, like bringing up the highlights, and then making those shadows deeper. And this is a really cool thing if you've never done it, but I believe the term is like crushing the blacks, which can be really cool. And in this image, it's gonna work pretty well because we're trying to get that fall feel. And I feel like crushing the blacks actually really works. So what this does is it makes anything that's like really dark in the image, and you'll notice it right here, right at the bottom of the phone. Keep your eye there, and you'll notice it gets like flat. And you can easily push this because if we go all the way,
Yeah.
it starts taking away too much. But so be gentle with it, but it just adds this really nice soft hazy effect. Almost like a film look. You can use this when you're trying to replicate like that film grain, that film look as well.
That's cool.
So yeah, and this is gonna work out really well for this image. So I'm gonna use that. And I like playing with the channels too. There's a lot you can do. So this is how I'm gonna introduce some color into the shadows and into the highlights as well.
Cool.
So usually to start off, I like replicating all my channels. So it's gonna get a little funky here, but don't worry, we're gonna bring it back to normal.
Okay. We trust you.
Good. Yeah, see, things are getting wonky, but this is what I mean. Have fun with color. Don't be afraid of this. I wasn't, in the beginning, I took me a while to actually start getting into this, because again, I was just too worried about things looking too weird and wacky.
Yeah, but now it's part of your style, so.
Yeah, exactly. Now I use it.
Playing around with it, yeah.
Then I kind of just try to look over and I try to see, like try to just mirror it. You can be really accurate with this, with the input and the output. So I definitely recommend using that. When I'm doing client work, I'm definitely trying to be as accurate as possible. So I'm definitely using those numbers. But it doesn't look like we're that bad. This is looking pretty natural. But again, this overall is just gonna bring back that contrast with color. And now that we kind of have them normalized and all that similar S shape, now we can really start having fun with it.
Cool.
So if we bring the red up, you'll notice we'll get a little bit of that red into the shadows, which is nice. We bring it down, we can get like some greens. I'm gonna bring it down ever so slightly just to get a little bit, again, just trying to get those fall feels, those fall tones. So we're gonna bring the reds a little bit.
Awesome.
And
The blues.
And the blues, yeah, so blue, if we bring up the blues, we can bring in some yellows, which is pretty sweet. So I'm gonna do just a little bit of that. I don't like it pushed too much. It makes things look like old school, like you're getting into like some 80s like photos or something like that, which would be pretty cool. Or not even 80s, maybe even before that, get like old like Western feel. Which, hey, that's a style too.
Oh, absolutely.
And that's what this is like, again, that's already just from doing those slight adjustments with the shadows.
Yeah.
Like those are the kinds of effects you can get. So use these channels, they're really powerful. Again, bringing that aesthetic, bringing those colors, whatever you want, that style, that feel. Yeah, it can really be brought in with these different channels. Yeah.
We have less than 10 minutes left, so
Okay,
make
cool.
sure if you have any last questions for Bryan, now's the time. Ask away. Cool. And I don't know, guys, I don't think we're going to be able to get the internet back, so I'm so sorry if you submitted a challenge. Make sure to like jump into Discord and give each other feedback because they'll be just as valuable.
Yeah. I'm gonna say you can DM it to me as well on Instagram.
There you go. DM it to Bryan. He'll give you some feedback.
We can talk about it 100%.
Okay.
100%. I know constructive
Great solution.
Yeah, constructive criticism is really important. So yeah, feel free to DM me if you want to.
Still wonky, so just
That's okay. We're gonna roll with it. It's all right. You guys will get special one-on-one feedback from this stream.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
There you go.
Exactly. Cool. Now I'm gonna jump into the HSL adjustment, and this is really just playing with like the specifics of each color.
Okay.
This is where we can kind of like play with the saturation of like the oranges and kind of make those stand out a little more, and change stuff around. So I'm gonna make the yellows a little more orange.
Okay.
And I'm gonna make those greens a little more yellow, and you can already notice this getting like pretty orange, like it's getting there, which is pretty cool. I like reds. Reds are always awesome. Maybe we can make it a little more dramatic, or
draw some attention to that red car right there.
yeah, or as you notice, we're playing with that a
Yeah.
little bit. Just a little. We're going into like purple, but that's okay. Just a little bit, not too much.
Just those little subtle details.
Yeah. And then the oranges. We'll leave the oranges as they are. So we'll bring that back down to 0. Cool. Going to saturation. I like, let's do, bringing down the blues is actually, you get that isolation of color, which sometimes is really cool. So I'm gonna do that a little bit. We see that the roads are pretty blue.
Yeah.
And we also do have a little bit of that sky up there. They're just blue, but I feel like we can bring that back. We're gonna isolate a little bit of the oranges, make that pop by doing this. Yeah, honestly, this is probably one of my favorite parts of the process.
Just playing around and like seeing what works.
Yeah.
It's pretty fun.
This is probably
so relaxing, just like slide them back and forth.
Yeah, you
watch
like
the photo change.
Here, left. Do I want this? Maybe feeling a little bit of this. Yeah, this is honestly just about like feeling it out. And I'll make the oranges probably the most saturated. Make the streetcar a little more saturated. And I believe in the beginning, I did bring down the saturation as well, so we can have more play, more room to play in the HSL.
Cool.
Which is great because you can always come back and adjust. But yeah, I always, with this first one, I kind of like to tone things back, and then I like to manually bring
back only what you want.
Yes.
Not like too many things.
Exactly. Yeah, I kind of like what this orange luminance is doing. I like that a lot, actually. We'll bring that. Let's see what the yellow is doing. We can make it a little darker. Yeah, you don't want to push these too far, because see, if we do this, things start,
it gets like really weird.
Things start blending a little oddly.
Yeah.
So you always want to be subtle.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and like you were saying earlier, this is how you figure out like what's too far. It's just jumping in there and playing with it, because you're never gonna know until you test it out and play around.
Exactly. There's nothing to be afraid of.
Yeah, and it might be different for every image too. You know, there's an image where you can like really push a certain color and it looks great, and then another image where you could like need to push a different color.
Exactly.
So.
Move along. Split toning. Split toning is really cool because you can add just some colors into the shadows. So here I'm just gonna play with bringing in some of the oranges, making it
that makes it feel more like fall, like
exactly.
Like it's like a fall afternoon or something.
Yeah.
The
sun's
going
warm.
down.
Oh
yeah. It's like cool, but it's like still a little warm out.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not winter yet.
Recently I've been liking making these like light blue tones. I've been having a lot of fun doing that. Which is awesome. So I'm playing with that a little more.
Cool.
I think I'll bring it into the highlights. Whoa, not that much. Yeah, again, I like to be subtle with split toning, but you know, there's times to be more dramatic with it, of course. Vignette, sure, why not? A little bit.
Sure.
Why not?
Why not?
Add a little bit more depth. Cameras some lenses specifically lend themselves more to vignetting, so you know, a lot of people say like, oh no, it should have no vignette, but it actually makes it look a little more natural.
Yeah.
As well, if you find a nice sweet spot.
We're out of time. That went fast.
Cool. That went fast. I know.
Wow.
Awesome.
Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you.
And you guys follow Bryan on Instagram. You can see the very finished edit of this photo in a little bit when it's really fall. Stay tuned.
Yeah.
And make sure you stick around for our XD Daily Creative Challenge with Howard, and then our XD stream with Keisha coming right up. So stay tuned. Thanks, guys, for joining.
Thanks so much. Take care.
Bye.